The following program was produced or sponsored by a community member. The content, views, and opinions expressed are the sole responsibility of the producer and do not reflect those of Malden Access Television, the City of Malden, or Comcast. MATV welcomes your comments. Call us at 781-321-6400 or email us at access@matv.org.
And then restart it again.
What's happening in Malden Neighborhood Basketball League? Jim Foley alongside Elias Feldman. We got the Kings and we got the Hawks today. Now, Elias, the Kings, they lost in the championship round last year. What do they need to do to add a second banner to their title round?
Well, the Kings, they're a veteran team. They've proven that they can go far into the playoffs. They lost to the Bullets last year in the championship. This year they have to focus on defense. That's really what wins championships. That's what's going to take them deep into the playoffs. And Danny Suda is their real anchor, averaging more than 17 points a game this season. He's going to have to carry the team throughout the season.
It's a good point, Elias. Now, on the other side, you got the Hawks. They're 0 for Gopher right now, 0-4. What do they need to do to get it going? Can they even split this weekend? Because they're playing the hot Celtics tomorrow as well.
The Hawks have the Kings and the Celtics, a real tough weekend for them, starting 0-4. They're going to have to try to right the ship somehow. They have a young team. They're just going to have to hustle and hopefully somehow come out with a win this weekend.
All right, Elias, you heard it right here. We got Kings and Hawks coming right up. Stay with us.
Here, you want to do the Kings starting five? I'll just do the Hawks.
Okay, we're on. About ready to start the first half here. Refs are ready to throw it up. Got the big man going to tip. For the Hawks, Zine Aus is going to take the tip. For the Kings, that was Michael Ricketts. Kings win the tip. They get first possession. Kings starting five are Roger Hickey, number 4, Danny Suda, number 7, Richie Rogers, number 14, Jimmy Cherry, number 13, and Michael Ricketts, number 8. First shot of the game is good. Kings on the board.
Danny Suda, the Kings anchor, gets them off to a real quick start here at the Ferryway School in Malden. Welcome aboard, everybody. The starting five for the Hawks: Carl, Lehans, Lou, Azus, and Morose. The starting five for the Hawks. They're just trying to get going. Started 0-4. A bunch of sophomores, a very, very young team, so they're going to try to hustle and hang with the Kings early.
Kings control the tip, take it up court.
Jonathan Morose on the Hawks is a second-year junior.
Pass deflected in, Kings keep possession. Three-second violation, turnover. First turnover over the game, Hawks get ball.
So the Hawks, one of the more storied franchises here in the Malden Neighborhood Basketball League. They won 3 championships late 80s, early 90s, and have struggled lately. They're just trying to get back towards that routine, that legacy that they built.
Kings try to get the fast break going, but instead the Hawks take it right back over and get their own fast break. Kings get right back on defense. They just couldn't learn from the first time, and once and again, another 3-second violation, and just like that, Kings get the ball.
So right here off the tip, you can see the Kings have a much bigger team. They're more athletic, and they really completely outman the Hawks.
Ricketts with the basket. 4-0 Kings early. Jonathan Morose passes it. Inside jump shot. Doesn't fall. Hawks get the rebound.
Get out, Weezy, get out. Knock him in the eye, bro.
Carl misses. He's already disappointed in himself, but he's right back on D.
Believe it or not, we're almost halfway through the season here in the MNBL. As we approach the halfway mark, the Hawks are in an 0-4 hole. They really need to somehow, some way, come up with a way to get a victory here.
There you go, Zeno. Good shot, Zeno. Good hustle.
Hawks maintain possession.
Go.
Morose around the pick, takes it, no good. Suda with the rebound. Tries to pass it inside, deflected, gets there anyhow. Gets right back. Suda fakes it, passes inside, jump shot, good.
So Suda early
Rogers.
distributing the ball, shooting the ball, and he is the anchor of this Kings team. Very rare that you see Suda, a point guard who's both one of the more prolific scorers in the league and can distribute the ball well. He has great court vision and has been a real anchor of this Kings team for many years now. Two-time MVP of the Kings, and looking to try to finally push them over the hump and get a championship here in the 22nd season of Malden basketball.
That's right. Suda's a true veteran. He's been with the league for 3 years. He was also Rookie of the Year in his first year, so right off the gate, he's been going strong and just getting better and better as the years have progressed. So with 6:44 left to go in the first quarter, the Kings are up with a quick 8-0 lead. Hawks have yet to get themselves on the board.
And while we're talking about Suda, he's pretty much the top of the list in every leading category of the MNBL this year. Second in free throws. He's third in scoring, just over 17 points per game.
Hawks to inbound. They get the free pass up court. Jumper. Doesn't fall.
And Morose is the guy that's going to have to get this Hawks offense going. He's the one that distributes the ball. He's real quick, and he's going to have to play well if the Hawks stand a chance here.
Suda left wide open for three, takes full advantage but can't hit. Garbage is cleaned up. They take the lead to 10.
And the Hawks are going to have to come out on Suda on that mid-range jumper. That's a shot he's normally going to hit.
Kenny Lou avoids the pressure. Kings take over anyhow. Suda quick. Pass is good. And the basket is good. Once again, that was Richie Rogers.
And they ran that fast break to perfection. Suda just dumped it off, and the trailer was right there coming down the lane for the finish.
The jump shot finally falls for the Hawks, and they get on the board.
Keep marking. Neutral and chase. Switch side. Now. Watch your pick right.
Hickey setting up the offense. Suda quickly gets it back inside. Kings weren't expecting the pass. That's a turnover.
And the Kings kind of have an unorthodox point guard running the ship. Hickey, number 4, is a big guy, but he can dribble, he can handle the ball, and knows how to pass.
Kings set up their defense. Lou with the up and under, inside for 2 to the left. Great shot by Kenny right there. Despite the big man around him, Lou was just able to find his way through the maze and just get that ball up there. Kings fight for the rebound. Put back. Good. Richie Rogers has been all over. He's been the trash man today. He's just cleaning up everything. Lou once again to the basket, gets deflected this time.
And Lou has been able to get into that paint the past 2 possessions.
Deep pass does not go. Hawks pull up.
Suda just beat the entire Hawks defense down the floor, but wasn't
Rose,
able to
quick
finish.
pass. Gets it back. Jimmy Cherry picks up the reach-in right there. Kings up 14-4, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Inside presence, gets it off the glass. That was Generazio right there.
Don't let him get paid. 3 seconds.
That's our third 3 seconds violation of the game so far, Elias.
And then the Kings have been able to establish their half-court game early. It looks like Suda has made that entry pass into Rogers at the high post a number of times now. The Hawks have been defending it pretty well. They're going to have to keep that up and try to deny that high post entry pass.
Good job, Gino. Good job, Gino.
Zine Awis goes over everybody and off glass for the basket.
So the Hawks are hanging in there. A little bit of a surprise early, only down 6.
That's right, they've come back late in this first quarter to push it even closer. They're only down by 6 right now, as you mentioned. Hickey at the top of the key. Trying to find the inside man. Instead gets it. Finally gets it inside now, but they bring it right back out. Right-hander, no good. Hawks come down with the rebound. Morose quickly brings it half court. Jump shot is short. Suda to bring it down left side. Cuts across the middle. Bounce pass. Fakes it. Bounces off his own foot, turns it over.
And the Hawks know they're outmanned here against a much more powerful Kings team, but they're getting good looks. They're getting open shots, and they're going to fall at some point.
Lou tries to put it up, gets fouled. He'll get to the line for 2.
So the Hawks are doing a real good job of getting to the rim early. They're not settling for mid-range jump shots, which they have been getting open looks at, but they're taking it to the hoop, and now Lou to the line to try to convert.
This is the first one.
And Lou thus far in the season, only 2 of 6 from the line, 33%.
Watch slow, Lou drop.
Sean McFeely was down on the other end, might have been expecting a quick pass off the rebound instead. The Hawks are able to set their defense. Richie Rogers can't find the open shot. Wants to get it back instead. The jump shot is good that was Michael Ricketts.
And the Hawks are not playing a man-to-man defense. They're playing a 2-1-2 zone, trying to put pressure on the Kings' big man down low.
3 ball, short. Lou rebound, short. Pass deflected. Suda gets it anyway.
Don't reach, don't reach.
Ricketts fakes it, takes it to the right. McFeely nearly has it stripped. This time it is stripped. Oh, should have taken the shot there. Finally gets it back. He's lucky on that one. Takes the jump shot, gets it to go, so it all works out.
And Nolan made up for that with the mid-range jumper, but he had a wide open look at that breakaway. A completely ill-advised pass, but the Hawks do get 2, and they're only down 6 here early.
The Kings have been running the same play, it seems like, almost every other possession. Just trying to get to the inside. If they can't get the shot, they take it right back out. Nolan can't handle the pass. Kings have a break if they hurry, but he's outmanned. Good defense by the Hawks.
All the way.
Morose stops and pops.
Get back, get back.
He has to get back on defense now. Suda quick. Lou tries to take the charge, instead gets called for the blocking foul.
Good try, Coach.
So it took most of the first quarter, but finally we see this up-tempo the game that the Kings have made a living off of, and the Hawks have been able to hang with them, not giving up the easy layup.
Kings have the lead 16-10. Suda looks to extend.
And Danny Suda, very, very aggressive player. He gets to the rim a lot, and also one of the better free throw shooters in the league, 71% thus far.
Makes 1 of 2 there. Lou pushes it up court. Suda knocks it away from him, tries to save it out of bounds. Instead, Hawks retain possession. Generazio to inbound, gets it to Lou. Quick baseline jumper is long. Hickey has 10 seconds to shoot or find the open man. Suda tries to find the open shot. He has 1 second. They're not going to get the shot off. That'll do it. 1 quarter through, Kings got a 7-point lead, 17-10. Elias, as you mentioned, it was a little slow of a start. Kings got it to about a 10-point lead to start before the Hawks could even get on the board, but once they did, they showed some good presence. What did you see in the Hawks there?
Well, the Hawks have been able to run with the Kings early. Even though they're down 7 here at the end of 1, they've been able to put some pressure on the Kings and haven't let them get out to easy fast break points, and that's going to be the key the rest of this contest, as long as the Hawks can get back on defense and prevent the Kings from making easy fast break layups.
Now, we haven't seen too many fouls. Is that attributed to good defense, Elias, or are the refs just missing some calls?
No, well, I mean, usually in this league, the refs will let them play. It's not the NBA where every touch foul is called. But, I mean, both teams are getting up and down the floor, playing good defense, and hopefully this will carry into the second quarter.
As you mentioned earlier, the Kings are looking to play good defense to take them to the next level, and it looks like they've done that thus far, only giving up 10 in the first quarter.
So here the MNBL action coming live from the Ferryway School. The first game of a triple header. We have a real great one coming up next. Two of the better teams in the league facing off.
That's right, Elias. You got who is it? The Celtics and the Pistons? Celtics and Sixers. Lakers and Pistons will follow them.
Then Lakers and Sixers.
Lakers and Pistons will follow them.
Lakers and Pistons, the third game of this triple header.
Once again, Generazio to inbound. Gets it to Morose, who will set up the offense. Aus turns it over. Suda all by himself. What can he do with it? Gets the easy layup. Good execution by Suda. Kings extend their pressure. Stop and pop. Falls through the net.
Money in the bank. So the Kings come out early with a full court press. We'll see if the Hawks will be able to break it and get down the court. Finally get some open looks.
Leslie Philippe is in the game for the Kings.
Kenny, we just scored.
Near turnover there. Arid pass. Hawks rather able to maintain. Pass goes through everybody. Somehow nobody was able to get a hand on that, neither the Kings nor the Hawks. Hickey with the ball now for the Kings. Inside baseline to Suda, goes up and gets fouled.
So Suda doing a good job. He's had some open looks, but he's taking the ball to the hoop and he's not settling for that wide open jumper. And he goes to the line for the second time on the day.
Aus picks up the foul.
Suda second in the MNBL in free throw shooting.
Kings lead is 9 now, 21-12.
With the push. Grab.
Morose is able to go through everybody there, and he does get fouled. Coach wasn't too happy about that one. It looked to be kind of hard.
So as Morose, the Hawks' quick, very speedy point guard, hits the front end of 2 free throws. He's struggled a bit this year from the line, only 44%, 8 of 18. And as the point guard for the Hawks, you'd you'd expect for Morose to be more consistent from the line, and there you see he hits the pair.
Terrence Nolan back in the game for the Hawks. Hickey finds Philippe, his first touch of the game. Philippe trying to find the open man, gets pressured. Hickey loses it, that'll be a backcourt violation. Coach B very happy with the defense on that possession. Morose back to Nolan, jumper, short. Suda with the rebound.
And for the Hawks to do well this season, Terrence Nolan's going to have to put up some big numbers, still a young player.
Suda, open look, drops.
And the Hawks defenders have just not been coming out on Suda when he gets that open look on the wing.
Morose had little help getting that up the floor, but once he did, he found Kenny Lou, and Lou was able to hit the open layup right there.
And Morose absolutely dissected the Kings' press on that possession. Nice pass to Lou, who finished.
It was 1-on-2. Timeout here. About 6 minutes to go in the half. Kings still maintaining their lead. Now it's 23-16.
So the Kings came out in the second quarter with that full court pressure. The Hawks were able to break it very nicely on a number of occasions and are hanging right in this ball game. We'll see coming out of this timeout if the Kings will keep that full court pressure on or if they'll go back into their half court defense. So here at the Ferryway School, fans starting to shuffle in. A very cold, frigid Saturday afternoon in Malden.
Oh, you can say that again. Nothing like yesterday. As you were saying earlier, today almost felt like summer compared to yesterday.
It's a warm, balmy 15 degrees here in Massachusetts.
Well, it took long enough. Rogers. Philippe, around everybody, is able to dump the pass off and does not fall, rolls around every part of the rim. Quick inside look finally goes this time. That was Michael Twisted Steele, fresh in the game.
There we go.
And pretty much every player on this Kings team has a nickname that they go by.
Dudley, what do you feel about all those nicknames?
Some of them well-deserved, some of them are just for my pure entertaining pleasure.
Richie, here's Leslie Collin. Leslie wants to take it to the basket, gets the roll to go. Good look by Leslie Philippe, number 5. Kings extend the lead 27-16.
And if you can't dunk, that's pretty much as close to posterization as you can get.
Suda up the left side. Nearly gets it stolen, but instead it's a reach-in foul. Terrence Nolan.
And the minute the Hawks begin to settle for those mid-range jump shots again, the Kings immediately extend the lead to 11. The Hawks need to take the ball to the basket. They had a good run there to start the second quarter. And now have kind of fallen back and become a little bit less aggressive.
Shot balls for Richie Rogers. The Kings are just piling on the points right now. They let the Hawks come back, but now they're just taking over. They don't want none of that. Hawks inbound. Lou, quick shot. Defense doesn't settle. Does not fall anyway, but it's still a good shot. Philippe directing the offense. Gets the ball. Passes quick inside. Nearly gets it picked. Back to Suda at the top of the key. Philippe baseline jumper. Right inside the three-point line. Does not fall. Quick push by the Hawks here. They want to take it straight to the basket. No foul call. No foul call. Finally, there is a call. But it's not on the shot.
And a lot of contact there on that fast break chance.
He will get 2 shots on this. They are going to say he was in the act to shoot.
It looked like Morose was absolutely hammered as he drove towards the hole. He was hacked in the act.
Stop, Terrence.
Nolan out. In comes Carl. Misses both of them. Suda settling it down here. Quick inside look. Twisted Steel gets fouled.
So with Rogers out of the game, Suda will initiate the offense for the Kings, and when he runs the point, he doesn't get as many shot attempts as when Rogers is in the game.
As a leader, you have to be able to execute however, whether it's taking shots or distributing, getting the dimes. Hits every part of the rim there, finally falls down.
And steals 60% from the line. And we call that a shooter's roll, huh?
Indeed.
Pushing him around down there in the post. Right in front of you.
Morose being double teamed. Cannot find the open man. Instead, Steele gets it ahead to Suda. Left side, gets fouled.
Hey, it's okay, Jake.
Carl saves the easy layup.
And now slowly, the Kings begin to extend that lead. 31-16.
They can double it right here. And they do.
And the Hawks are just trying to cling on and stay in this ball game.
The Hawks can cling on? Is that what you just said? Cling on with their Hawks claws? Elias. Lou, inside look. Cannot fall for Aus. Wesley Philippe was ready to go with it, but he committed the foul. Hawks to inbound from underneath the basket.
And in an early season edition of Around the Rim, Nestor Dudley both had Danny Suda and Philippe on the program. They were both very, very confident. And it seems like this may be their year. They most definitely think so.
Suda almost took the 3 there. Instead, distributes.
Keep your head in the game.
2 inside looks. Can't get it to fall. Robert Bedard in the game. He gets fouled.
And if you recall, Philippe on Around the Rim was very, very confident, perhaps even a little cocky. And that's really what the Kings need to perhaps push them over the edge.
Is that going to affect his execution, rather?
No, I mean, he's a real confident guy. He's always going to take the ball to the rack. He's not going to shy away from pressure. And I mean, Philippe is one guy that's going to have to come in and utilize his quickness to initiate some plays for the Kings.
Chase Carl, after picking up 2 quick fouls, he's out of the game, and rightfully so. He's disappointed. He shouldn't be committing those fouls against a good team, because they're going to hit. Unfortunately, they didn't hit there, but they'll hit more often than not.
And the Hawks being a very, very young team, it's against a lot of teams in this league, they have matchup problems. They don't have a big block presence. They don't have anyone that can get the ball in the post and shake and bake and hit a quick little baby jump hook. They really don't match up very well, and in the end, that's really what could be their demise.
Well, if you go off what's going on right here, the free throws, the Kings are 2nd in the league, and the Hawks are 3rd to last, so that would make them 5th in the league. 6th, rather. Kick ball. Playing soccer over here. Kenny Lou steals the inbounds, nearly gets the turnover complete. Kings fortunate to maintain possession there. Outside look, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Hawks get the ball right back.
And if you're the Hawks with 2 minutes to go here in the half, you want to try to cut the lead to single digits.
It's 32-16 right now.
Going into halftime, if the Hawks can go on a little bit of a run, that would be a real confidence booster for the second half.
Oh, he should have taken the three right there. He was wide open by a mile. Instead, he turns it over, and the Kings are able to get points off the turnovers. Danny Suda completes the finish. Loose ball, Morose picks it. Oh, he gets hacked like crazy. That's one way to stop the shot from going in.
And Morose has taken a beating here early. He's gone down hard a couple times on fast break opportunities.
He's
that time.
Like a man, though, trying to do what he can to get his team on the board. Unfortunately, misses the first one there. He'll have his second shot right here. Try to cut the lead in half.
And Morose really is the leader of this Hawks team. The point guard, the initiator, the one that makes the offense go. And he shows his leadership right there from the line.
Three ball, tremendous. Michael Ricketts, he's an outside threat for certain. You can't leave him open. He'll drop him. And one for Kenny Lou.
What a finish that time by Lou as he glided right down the middle of the lane, uncontested.
He is unafraid to just take it to these big men. Hawks will call a timeout here.
And Lou has had a incredible first half. He hasn't showed any fear. He's gone to the hoop on a number of occasions and been able to finish strong with the right hand.
So with 1:13 to go in the half, Kings have the lead, 37-19. And Elias, the Kings, as you mentioned, they're extending the lead, extending pressure, extending everything. They're just doing it all right now.
Yeah, I mean the Hawks, a young team, they're beginning to slowly kind of lose touch of this game. They were able to hang in there early in the ball game, but now just the Kings' size, the Kings' veteran leadership has proven a little bit too much for a young Hawks team here, almost all the way through the second quarter.
Off the timeout, Lou will shoot his free throws.
Hold up.
Doesn't hit. Hickey takes it up the court to Jolly Roger. Stop and pop. Goes right in for Michael Ricketts. Hawks get it quickly up court. Spinorama on the baseline does not fall. He should have set his feet right there. He had time.
Go get him, Neutron. Bravo.
Looked like he shuffled his feet there.
Hawks will get the ball back anyway. The foul there was on Steele. They're in the double bonus. Hawks will shoot two.
And the Hawks this weekend just get a horrible 1-2 draw. The Kings today, the Celtics, an undefeated team tomorrow.
I like that. Now you're going to start getting some calls. It's beautiful on the other side, I'm telling you. We've accepted our death. Hey, remember on the make.
And you heard it first, Coach B right in front of us at the scorer's table. not so optimistic about the Hawks' chances here.
Not indeed. Fakes it instead. Another fake. Still does not get it to fall. Kenny Lou comes up with the rebound. Arid pass. Goes off the Hawks. Kings will get the ball. It was tough to tell right there. Hickey cannot get the inside look. Turnover. Hawks pick it up. Jack Generazio goes to the basket and he gets fouled. We'll go to the line for 2.
And the Hawks were only down 7 after 1 quarter, but now find themselves in a huge hole, down 19.
Ricketts picks up the foul.
Just trying to stay alive.
That rolled in.
That's Generazio's first made free throw of this young season.
Hawks extend their pressure. Kings able to take it up court. Dribbled all over the place. Once again, the fake cannot get the shot off this time. Shot does not fall, and that'll do it for the first half. Kings with the lead, 39-22. We'll be right back with halftime analysis. So I'll just say who was the story of the first half. You can say Richie Rogers, he had 12 points. To start the second half here, Jim Foley, Elias Feldman. Kings off to a quick lead, 39-22. It's a good storyline so far. Who's the big storyteller right now for the Kings?
Well, in the first half, Richie Rogers dropped 12 points. The Kings obviously dominating this game up and down the floor, and they're really a much overpowering team. The Hawks are just going to try to hang in there and hopefully get on a little run and gain a little confidence going into tomorrow's game against the Celtics.
All right, that's what we got right here. Stay tuned. Second half coming right now.
Welcome back to the Ferryway School in Malden. At the half, 39-22, Kings on top, completely dominating this first half. The Hawks 0-4 thus far, early on in the season, having a tough time hanging with the up-tempo game that the Kings like to run. And really, all the Hawks can hope for is to kind of get into a rhythm, build their offense, work their offense, and basically practice a few things, which can hopefully help them in their game tomorrow against the Celtics, because they're a young team. Most players are in their sophomore year, and then they have a lot to learn yet here in the MNBL.
That's right, practice is the key word, like you said, Elias. I like to see the Hawks work on some new things, try to find out what works best for them so they can learn from their experience and just take it to the next week and the following week after that.
So the Hawks will get the first possession here in the second half. Lou gets the ball inside, up and under move, doesn't quite go. Kings with the rebound.
That was a good move for Lou. It worked for him in the first half. Although he is able to get to the line, he just hasn't been able to execute at the line. I think he went 0 for 4 at the line to start the first half.
Suda off the mark on the long attempt, and Moreau's backed away. Dribbles with the left hand, back into the middle of the key. Shot is off the mark, and the Kings will slow it up, and what a play here by the Hawks as they almost steal the ball.
great effort to come out firing to start the second half.
But knocked out of bounds by Lehens, and the Kings will retain possession. So 39-22, start of the third quarter, the Ferryway School here in Malden. Elias Feldman alongside Jim Foley. Welcome aboard. And Ricketts knocks down the long jumper.
He had 2 days to shoot that one.
Moreau sends Terrence on the wing. Terrence Nolan tries to save it. Turnaround jumper by Israel doesn't go. And an official timeout here with 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Ricketts helped create that lack of good shot. He was able to knock the ball away, coming right off the other end, off the made basket. From the offensive zone, he's able to come back on defense and prevent execution by the Hawks.
So now Suda and Hickey in the game, but Suda will initiate the offense. Top of the key, dribbles with his right hand, picks up his dribble. Alley-oop towards the hoop.
Couple more feet, he would have had it.
And knocked out of bounds. Ball now to the Hawks.
Give it a couple years, buddy. Good effort, though.
Now Morose to Nolan. Nolan, right hand, center of the key, blocked. Ball back out to Morose. Israel down low, double team, kicks it back out. And the shot is off the mark. So now Hickey, right wing to Suda. Suda goes baseline, picks up his dribble, kicks it back out. Shot by Ricketts is off the mark, and here comes Morose. Morose wants to push it, not trying to set up that half-court offense.
Ooh, should have had the cut on that. It was a good look.
So now Hickey brings it between the center circles, gets it down low. Back to Hickey, skies towards the hoop, and finishes with the left hand.
He came out of nowhere there.
What a play by Roger Hickey.
Hawks were looking all at the ball, and they weren't looking at Hickey. He just charged right in, got the outlet pass, and Hawks weren't ready, committed the foul, couldn't get their feet set. He was hacked in the act, and will get to try to attempt the old-fashioned three-point play.
So Hickey converts the three-point play, 40% from the line for the season. Now Nolan pushes back the other way. Stop and pop. Inside the free throw line, no good. Rebound by Israel. Back up with the right hand, and one.
Right back at you, Kings. Good execution by Hawks there. Coming right back at him, giving them the dose of their own medicine.
So Israel, a very tall, lanky player, able to come down with a few very nice offensive rebounds here early on in the third quarter. 44-24. 20-point lead for the Kings. Hawks just trying to hang around.
Now, when you have the height advantage on players especially, you get the benefit of getting over the other players. They can't disrupt your shot. All they can do is foul you. They can't block you. You're too tall. You just got to get up there.
Oh, and Suda broke the press with ease, and the Kings 2-point steal. Morose pressured top of the key.
Jimmy Cherry wanted the steal on that one. He's all over the defense right now. There he is. You see him again.
Nolan double teamed on the baseline, out to Lou. Lou to Morose, right wing. 3-point shot, good. He nails it. And now Hawks pick up full court press. Kings break it with ease. And Richie Rogers is fouled as he goes to the line. Rogers, 12 points in the first half. He led all scorers. And Rogers, a very big player for his age.
I'm a little intimidated.
Rogers, however, has struggled from the line, only 25% this season. And Suda gets the offensive rebound off the missed free throw. Hickey, very unorthodox shot, long off the back of the rim.
Jimmy Cherry.
And Cherry.
Oh, Jimmy Cherry, get it up there, baby. Yes.
And Cherry gets his own rebound for 2 points. And that's a beautiful hustle play. 48-27, Kings on top. Long three-point shot for Lahens.
Excuse me, Elias, I apologize. It's just raining threes.
As Steele drove towards the lane, didn't look like he had much control of his body as he went towards the hoop, but he did draw the foul regardless, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Jack Generosio for the Hawks is set to come back in. Kings will take a timeout here.
And with over 3:30 to go here at the Ferryway School in Malden, the Kings just hovering around with that 20-point advantage. And the Hawks have come out firing here in the second half. Still down by a large margin, but I mean, they have put some pressure on the Kings, and they're making their open shots.
That's what you said, man. Open shots are the easiest kind. You're going to drop those. At least you should drop those as a good team, and that's what the Kings are doing. Although the Hawks have had some open shots of their own. Like that last, you saw the 3 down on the other end. They're getting their shots as well. It's just going back and forth, but the Hawks can't even allow the back and forth. They need to take over, take control of this ball game while we're still in the third quarter.
So here in the first game of a Saturday triple header, you might say it's the undercard of for this Saturday. The Celtics and the Sixers coming up next. 2 of the better teams in the league. The Celtics still undefeated. And that's a matchup that we're going to look forward to see. So Steele hits the front end of 2. Steele 60% from the line this season. Steele makes both. The Kings will fall back into their half-court defense. Lou gets it to Nolan, baseline, kicks it back out to Lou. And Cherry is fouled as he goes towards the hoop. Foul on Lou, that's his 3rd personal foul, 5th team foul. And Cherry with a very good aggressive play there, took it all the way to the hoop and will have a chance to convert on a couple of free throw attempts.
Jimmy Cherry knew Lou was behind him, knew he didn't have to make the shot, just get it up and make sure Lou made contact. That's what he did. Unfortunately for him there, he wasn't able to make the first one, but the Kings, they're a good free throw shooting team. They're going to get theirs more often than not.
So Lou, who has stepped up big for the Hawks, comes out of the game. He'll take a breather.
2-on-1 if they hurry.
And Nolan cannot finish with the right hand. Rebound by the Kings, and they'll push the other way. Hawks back. Kings don't have numbers, but Suda throws up a fadeaway jumper. No good. And Steele with the finish. And there's really nothing the Hawks could do about that. They're just completely outsized by the Kings. And we've seen a number of times now that the Kings have got offensive rebounds off missed free throws. It's absolutely essential. And there you see it again, that the Hawks box out on free throws. And Steele just looks like a man among boys here.
Hey, Terrence, help!
As the Kings pick up some pressure in the backcourt. Morose now between the timeline. Terrence Nolan, left baseline. Stolen by Suda. Suda, 2-on-1 if he hurries. Dumps it back.
You can't get fancy on the fast break. He tried to go behind the back there, and it didn't work.
The Hawks are off the mark with a jump shot, and the Kings will now slow it up and set up a half-court play. Cherry to Hickey. Hickey, big body driving towards the lane, dishes off to Steele. Steele can't convert on the layup, and Israel gets the loose ball and is fouled in the act. That's a foul on Steele, and still with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, Steele already with 4 personal fouls. I'm kind of surprised he's still in the game for the Kings. Hickey with the loose ball.
I'm sure the Kings really aren't too worried about getting in foul trouble. They have plenty of depth.
Hickey to Suda. One dribble in. 17-footer no good. Steele with another rebound. Turnaround jumper from the block is good. And Steele.
With a 26-point lead, they can afford to use their bench players, the Kings.
And Steele absolutely manhandling the Hawks here. Suda, outlet pass wide open, dumps it back to Steele with the right hand. Can't finish with the layup. Nolan now in the open floor, 3-on-2. Dishes to Generazio, easy layup, and it's good.
He might have stepped on that one, taking an extra one, but I guess the refs gave him that one.
So now the Hawks will set up in a 2-3 defense. 56-32, Kings on top. Suda goes baseline with the right hand, and he's fouled as he goes towards the hoop. Oh, looks like it was an offensive foul. And the Hawks will get the ball.
There goes Steele out of the game.
The Hawks down 24, and this is a huge deficit to overcome. Generazio on the right wing. Dumps it down to Israel in the post. Turnaround jumper, good.
Robert Bedard will get his chance now in place of Steele, trying to get some good minutes. Ooh. Hawks wanted a break on that one. Just can't reach in like that.
It looked like Morose may have had the steal, but called for the foul. And the Kings will inbound from underneath their own basket.
Jace Carl back into the game for the Hawks. He'll replace Jonathan Morose.
So 37 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Kings running away with this one. And Generazio back the other way across the timeline. Sets up the offense, pressured by Suda.
He got smacked in the face.
Nolan, free throw jumper, good. So 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Kings will hold for the final shot. Suda breaks down the Hawks defense, dishes, what a pass, but Bedard can't finish. Nolan with 1 on the clock, gets the shot off, good if it goes. Just off the mark. And at the end of 3 quarters, the Kings on top by 20, 56-36. And the Hawks played strong there in the third.
Coach B saw this coming. I mean, he's realistic about his team here. He knows he has something to work with, but he still is doing the best he can to bring his team to be the best they can. He's doing a great job keeping his team's heads up, trying to get the refs to make the calls if he sees something, trying to give his team the best chance they can to win. I think Coach B has a great chance to get this team ahead to where it needs to be by the end of the season. He's an experienced coach. He's been with the league for 4 years. He's an experienced basketball player. He knows about the game.
And the Hawks will still have a couple of years to grow with this same team. So this is more of a chance for them to get into a rhythm and get to know each other a bit.
And that's what they should do. Avoid bad trades, bad picks. Work with what you got. And unless you absolutely see something that's crucial that can help your team, work with what you got and try to develop them as a team. I've always been about being a team. You think back to the old-time Celtics if you want to go real throwback. Most of the players on the Celtics 50s and 60s team, at least the Hall of Famers, were with the team their whole career.
And Carl gets the steal, and he heads towards the wrong basket. Unbelievable. And Carl with a fantastic play.
I don't know if that might be a woo of the week.
Unbelievable. And Coach B yelling at him.
He's got a smile on his face.
And everyone is just kind of in awe here at the Ferryway School as Carl almost scored 2 points for the Kings. Now the Kings inbound to Suda. Suda misses the turnaround short jumper. Outlet to Generazio. Hesitation move, yep. And he walks. So, I mean, how often do you see that? I've seen it in football a couple times.
Football, yes.
In the MNBL, it's a different story, though.
Once again, Suda tries to go behind the back, and once again, he turns it over. He's got to stop doing that.
Nolan. Generazio with the tip and the finish. And the Hawks have come out very aggressive here at the start of the fourth quarter, 56-38. Kings up by 18. And the Hawks have not given up hope on this contest. Philippe towards the hoop with the right hand, finger roll.
He can do. That's what you like to see Philippe do off the bench.
Philippe is very, very quick off the dribble.
That's right. He's a great player. He sometimes starts. He almost started this game. Instead came off the bench and still contributed well.
Generazio banks it in from the left elbow.
Norellis and Lou are looking to come in at the next break.
Suda dumps it down low, shot way off the mark, and Philippe retains possession, goes right baseline under the basket. And there's a Hawks foul on the play. And the foul's on Carl. He'll come out of the game, Lou back in. And the Kings burn another timeout. So 58-40. The Kings are up big, almost at the halfway point of the fourth quarter.
Yet the Hawks have scored more points in particular this fourth quarter. They're playing well. They're starting to pick up what the Kings are doing. The Kings are just sticking with their game plan. The Hawks are picking up on that, trying to disrupt their game plan.
So it looks like the Kings coach Glenn is going to stick with some of his starters, even with a big 18-point advantage in the fourth quarter. There's kind of that fine line where you don't want to run up the score, but at the same time you want to be sure that you keep a hefty lead in hand.
With a good team like the Kings, Coach Glenn wants to have his bench players prove to him that they deserve their minutes. He's not just going to give it to them just because they have a good lead.
Oh, Philippe, nice crossover dribble with the right hand to the hoop. Finishes strong.
Ooh, he's excited about that one.
Now Nolan to Lou, goes baseline with the left hand, double teamed. Throws up a shot which is way short. Now the Kings the other way, outlet to Suda. Suda loses a handle on the ball. Looked like he had a wide open layup and a big break that time for the Hawks.
He had nothing but light in front of him, wasn't looking at the ball, tried to do one thing before the other. Feet were moving quicker than the head.
And for Suda, the third leading scorer in the league. I mean, he's going to be shaking his head about that one as Nolan is off the mark.
Philippe wants more here. There he goes.
And if Lou had looked up, Nolan was cherry picking a bit. They would have had a wide open layup, but that time a foul on the Kings.
That was Sean McFeely. That's right. Sean McFeely, see, he's got to prove his minutes too. He's coming off the bench. He's not going to get as much minutes if he commits quick fouls like that.
Nolan that time with a nice move and hit the mid-range jumper. Hickey now dishes to Suda. Suda calls out the offense, crossover dribble, top of the key. And Ricketts that time with a runner in the lane.
And quietly, Ricketts is having himself a game. He's hit threes here, long twos there, definitely contributing to this Kings large lead.
So 62-42, Kings up 20. Lou now long two-point attempt, long. And Hickey, the Kings stocky point guard, handles the ball very well. And Ricketts is fouled by, no, they're
going to call a jump ball.
They're going to call a jump ball on that. So Ricketts and Lou.
You see Morose back in the game now. You hope his legs are fresh. He can lead his team back. You can think they're going to start running now.
Lou did not even jump for that ball. Looks like he was
can do with it.
Elbowed in the face.
There you go. Take it right to the basket. He's going to get his 2 free throws.
And Morose comes off the bench and immediately goes towards the hoop. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Just too quick. Hickey didn't have time to set his feet completely.
So 4.5 minutes here to go in the contest. The Hawks have played a solid second half. They haven't let the Kings extend their lead past 20 points. But still, they haven't been able to cut the deficit very much at all. Now Hickey, strong the other way, down to the right block. Brings it back out. Bedard, short jumper.
That was Richie Rogers on that shot.
Now Morose pushing. Right elbow jumper is long. And Hickey's all over the place. He picked up his dribble and looked like he traveled in the backcourt, but now an outlet pass to Bedard. Bedard with the right hand skies to the hoop. It's no good.
Stop calling him Bedard. It's Rogers. They don't even look alike.
Now Rogers skies for the rebound.
Hawks almost excited about that call. Instead, it's an offensive foul, and they'll turn it right over. I take that back. Kings with the foul. I'm getting myself confused. See, Elias, between the two of us, I'll tell you.
Nolan with a nice entry pass. Israel comes with a loose ball. And Zito finishes. Rogers with the right hand. And the Kings with a big 19-point lead, but that doesn't mean they're going to slow down. Still pushing, and not willing to set up that half-court game. Nolan with a long three way downtown off the mark. And Zeno with the second chance opportunity will go to the line for 2 shots.
Number 14, Richard Rogers, first personal, 6-13.
And the foul on Rogers, only his first personal foul of the afternoon. So 2:47 to go here at the Ferryway School. 64-45, Kings on top. And the Hawks now just trying to get a little confidence back. It looks like they're going to fall to 0-5, a real tough start for a young Hawks team.
Not much of a break there for Steele. Steele's back in the game along with Philippe for the Kings.
So the Hawks pick up full court pressure. Nolan comes up with the loose ball. And nice finish for the Hawks there. And the Hawks not giving up, playing real tough defense. Hickey picks up his dribble, finds Philippe. Philippe with a real quick move, and he's fouled as he starts going towards the hoop. Philippe, a very, very quick player, can pretty much take anybody off the dribble in this league.
I want to go back to that last possession by the Hawks. Peterson Norellis was able to take the ball, get the ball, and make sure he got himself set. His feet were set, able to go off glass, get the basket, didn't rush his shot. Realized that the defense wasn't going to be able to disrupt his shot. Got the good enough, put up, and went in. I like to see these kids have patience.
So Philippe, 30% from the line on the season. Hits the second attempt. 1 out of 2 from the line. So 2 minutes to go in this contest. 65-48. Kings on top. Moreau's foot on the line, and he hits the long 2-point shot. Philippe breaks down the Hawks defense, but can't finish after all of that work. And McFeely with the second chance attempt, fouled in the act, and he'll go to the line. Foul is on David Israel. That's his second personal foul. And with 1:48 to go, the Hawks surprisingly have cut the deficit to 15. And
Peterson with a smile on his face after coming out. He made a good contribution there. Coach trying to pump up his Hawks team, trying to get them to finish off strong.
Moreau goes baseline with the left hand. Jump shot is way short. Now Philippe in the open court, towards the hoop with the right hand, fouled by Moreau. And Moreau, a nice play not to give up the open layup. You'd rather have Philippe go to the line and earn his 2 points.
Especially at this stage of the game where clock is a factor. That stops the clock. And you don't have to worry. He only has 3 fouls there.
So Moreau now out of the game. Generazio and Carl back in.
They have a bench. They got guys that can step up right here.
And as this team begins to mature and grow, I mean, they do have a deep bench, so they have players that they can go to. And it looks like they're going to drop to 0-5, but the Hawks still not giving up, trying to push the initiative. Philippe with the loose ball out to steal. Finger roll good.
Finger roll.
Now Carl with the long 3 off the mark. Board by Israel. And now under a minute to play. 71-50. Kings up by 21. And the Kings have controlled this game from the get-go. Really playing their game, very up-tempo. As the ball is knocked out of bounds off the jump. Now Carl, top of the key. And Philippe called for the foul. 49 seconds to play.
The Kings almost all are bench players right now on the court. Only Jolly Rogers out there from the starting lineup.
And you can watch MNBL action each Monday through Wednesday at 3 p.m. on Channel 15. And then catch the game of the week every Friday night at 7 p.m. Channel 15. So now time winding down, 30 seconds to go. Philippe, fancy move behind his back. And Philippe, another wide open layup.
He's got that quickness.
And even though this game's a blowout, nobody's giving up, and you gotta love this heart. And Leslie Philippe pads his stats a little bit as the buzzer sounds. And the final score from the Ferryway School in Malden, 75-50. Kings get the W. They'll improve their record to 4-1. The Hawks fall to 0-5. So for Jim Foley, I'm Elias Feldman. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the second game of our doubleheader coming up in just a minute.
All right, Jim Foley once again with Elias Feldman. The Kings pretty much put a whipping on the Hawks here, and you see the team, they came out strong, but I want to talk a little bit about the Hawks. You see, they've had a good bunch of kids. It's just really hard to get them to play a full game, and they really don't have a lot of guys that have been able to step up, and that might be good because the coach at this point can have a whole slew of players to choose from and see which guy can be that man for years to come.
Well, as the Hawks mature, they're definitely going to become more of a team, more of a unit, and play solid ball together. But they're a very young team, a bunch of sophomore players, so it is going to take some time. And this may not be their year, as they haven't even been able to get a win yet. But with a young team, it's playing together, practicing together, and eventually they'll come along and be a good team in this league.
All right, Jim Foley, Elias Feldman, game one over, game two coming at you.